Welcome to Pneuma Conversations, where breath becomes voice and silence finds its spiral. A place where the unseen becomes seen, a space where the silence become heard and where the rejected are accepted. Together we breathe. Together we remember that we are all remembered. We are all loved and we all belong. These are the conversations that remind us what it means to be alive. Today, we're in conversation with Ryan and Brandy. And some of you may remember Ryan from a previous episode, and now his wife is joining us. And just a quick congratulations to both Ryan and Brandy. Ryan won the for the second year in a row the Psy Games, and we're going to talk about all of that and who knows what else we're going to talk about. But Ryan and Brandy, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you so much for having us.
Brandy, I'm just going to give Brandy a little bit of an introduction. People met me before, but Brandy, why don't you just give yourself a little bit of an introduction to the crowd, the universe?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Brandy Davian. I am Ryan's wife, so I've been kind of behind the scenes with all the Psy Game stuff. I've been on a lot of different podcasts with him, but we're doing a lot of training together, and I am also doing all kinds of things. And this year, I was actually an alternate for Mindsight for the 2026 Psy Games, and I didn't end up competing, but I was an alternate and tested in, so that was super exciting, and we're really happy to be here. So thank you for having us.
Awesome. My audience doesn't know the Psy Games, so in this next episode, when we air this episode, I will make sure to put Psy Games stuff in the description along with your details. I didn't do that last time, so I apologize.
And I can go into that just a little bit too, just to get a little bit of a verbal of what the Psy Games are. So the Psy Games have now gone for 2 years. The inaugural Psy Games was last year, 2025, in Charlottesville, Virginia. This year it was in Charlotte, North Carolina, for 2026. But it's the Psychic Olympics for all intents and purposes. Mm-hmm. It's folks from around the world. This year, we even had a more worldwide group than we did last year. I think we had folks from England, from Ireland, from Brazil, a handful of folks from the United States. I think we had a big group from Brazil is actually where we had a lot of the folks this year. Because I'm trying to think. I know that we also had Australia, and I think there was one other country, but I can't think the lady. But just an eclectic group of people from around the world, once again, making it that international group. So what it is they have 5 categories, which was psychokinesis, which is influencing things with your mind or your energy. Precognition, which is being able to predict outcomes or predict the future. Remote viewing. Remote viewing is just like it sounds, even to the point that they even use the kind of the more there's a handful of ways of doing remote viewing. They use very typical kind of standard way through the military this year through social RV, dowsing, and Mindsight. And so what was pretty cool last year was amazing. I think they ended up getting somewhere between 500 to 700 people. This year it doubled. I think they were between, I think they
almost
said
1,000,
almost right at 1,000. I think the ballroom and the games themselves had pretty much everybody in it this year. It was this giant ballroom that was packed side to side. Very similar to what they did last year, where they had like a big stage. They didn't have the big Phoenix that lights up this year. I was a little bit disappointed by that, but I think that's going to show up somewhere else in October that I'll kind of talk about later. I think it got shipped back to where it came from for the true international.
If I had known you were going to be in North Carolina, I'm in Pennsylvania. I would have tried to get down there. I didn't know
Well, I mean, the traveling I have coming up is pretty crazy, man. I'll have to tell you about all that, but so we go to the Psy Games last year. We qualified for all 5 games last year. I won 3 of the games or podiumed on 3 of the games. Won psychokinesis, came in second for precognition and for Mindsight. This year, I did not test into remote viewing. Lots and lots and lots of people testing into remote viewing this year. Not upset by it. Just didn't make the cut, which is what happens, right? Still made the cut for all the other games. Competed in all the other games, so competed in 4 of the 5 games this year. Walked out on top with psychokinesis, which was the Ageli wheel, and being able to influence random number generators to influence a computer program, which is kind of my specialty. I've been able to do that, in Vegas. I've also been using this thing called the Weirdoscope, which I'll talk about weird technologies a little bit after, just because there's a bigger thing with that.
Yeah, Ryan, I want to ask, and I can ask it now or I can ask it later.
Yeah.
The reason you didn't qualify for the what was it? I'm sorry,
remote viewing.
The remote viewing. I'll go ahead and ask now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of we wanted to save the serious questions for later, but
no, dude, totally.
I want to interject this now. Do you think? And I'm going to kind of use my language for this, and so if we need to, we can adjust the language if you don't understand. Do you think the reason that you didn't qualify for that event, again, please remind me, I forgot it again.
Remote viewing.
The remote viewing, thank you. Do you think the reason you didn't get into that event was because the field wasn't ready for you, or you weren't ready for the field, or both?
I feel like...
Because it's not a failure. It's not a failure.
Not at all. And, and honestly, man, I've shown it, in person. We do our live events where I've shown it in person, the ones that you're talking about with Dave and Tari and Justin.
Yes.
And, I feel like, honestly, I had so much opportunity by getting into, like I was saying, in 2025, I qualified for all the games, but only got to compete in 3.
Okay.
Right. So I had begged them this year to let me compete into every game I qualified in. And, I think the real true honest answer is there was just some elite people doing it this year. You know what I mean? People that have, just as much of a tried and true track record as me. And
Brandy, I saw you shaking your head. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the same. And it's remote viewing is really a specialty. And there are so many, like he said, so many elite people that have been to trainings with these famous military remote viewers and have really honed in on that skill.
Right.
Whereas Ryan is more kind of like an all around, and more his specialty is really more psychokinesis, but he's also an all around. So I think if he had really honed in and focused only on remote viewing, he would definitely be up there. But he really wanted to kind of be the all around guy. And it was really cool to see other people shine in their area of expertise.
So I don't think my question is out of context or inappropriate at all. Again, you weren't ready and the field wasn't ready.
Right.
And that's not good or bad or right or wrong. It's just it's not your time, and that is okay. And it doesn't mean you don't have the gift, but you always don't have to perform it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just because it may not. Like, for example, you're putting the spoons up on the walls. It's really, really, really neat and cool. But the field may not be ready for you to do that.
Right.
I want to get into that. So but I'm going to pause for that for a second. But I want to get into that conversation a little bit. But we'll do that later. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just, and I think, I have been super blessed, man. And I would be remiss if I said anything but that in all the things that the Psy Games and these trainings, these opportunities have brought me. And honestly, I'm so happy I only won one event. Like that, That sounds weird coming from the moto dude who's been talking like I won all these medals and stuff. But, I'm so happy it worked out that way because, had I won more, I would have taken opportunities from others to go do these amazing things that were part of winning the Psy Games, like going to this World Consciousness convention in Broughton, England, or Broughton Sanctuary.
Nice.
I forget exactly. I forget what part of England, but it's called Broughton Sanctuary, and it's just such an amazing opportunity, and it would have been inappropriate for me to try to take that away from other people that put in just as much work.
Yes.
So, I think the universe, the field, the love, put me in the right position. I got done what I need to get done to keep it moving forward and show everybody that I'm for real, but also didn't take too much so that everybody else still got to have the opportunities that were part of it too. And so I'm grateful for that, man. I like I said, I'm happy I would have taken at least one more second place so that I didn't take anybody else, but I'm still happy it went down the way it did.
Of course. What happens now? What? I mean, yeah, there's next year, but I think you alluded that there's things going on in the next couple of months.
Dude,
you want to talk about that?
Absolutely, man. So I will fully admit, you're going to be the first place I've kind of talked about it. So I actually had to quit my job, man. It's been kind of a crazy thing. Wow. We are going to be doing worldwide traveling basically between now and the end of the year.
Cool. Great.
We're going to see if we can get Brandy to go along. We don't know the cost of everything yet, so we're going to have to see what these things are costing. But
it's almost like this is where we're supposed to be. Right. And we have to take that leap and we have to go for it, So he's gotten really into it. And I've said this before to other people, but honestly, I feel like he has been through the trenches, having been a social worker and seen all this death and having a near-death experience to finally get to this place. And I have never seen him so passionate or so happy. And it seems like now that we're starting to follow this path, and be at that heart center, all these doors are opening up to saying like, yes, you are on the right path. Here's what you're supposed to be doing. And we're just so, so, so grateful.
The synchronicities, the connections of people that should have never happened, the places my names are being spoken about, man, it's nuts. It's just, it's such a, a humbling experience in the same right, to know that, we're being talked about in these rooms. And I would have never even thought anything that I would have done would have ever been dropped, name dropped. And, So to go into exactly what you're saying, man. So when we won the Psy Games, I got a cool X Games picture. I bit my medal, kind of made it a little bit more still super cool. I just want to say a couple more things. Hakeem Isler and that executive team did an amazing job with the Psy Game. It was double as big. The vendors were amazing. We had other people doing kind of like side competitions. I think there was one where they gave out $1,000 to people that can match number patterns correctly. There was a couple of other like smaller events. Many, many, many huge influencers were there. Everybody from and it's just cool because these are kind of like TV shows as well. So we were on the Files along with like Acid for Squares and a couple of other these big name documentaries. Even Brandy was on it doing her Mind Sight with Axel. It was just to just meet these people was pretty cool, but also to get to be a part of their shows. And it was nonstop. It was, we got in there on Wednesday. Wednesday, we just kind of hung out, did our own thing, kind of enjoyed a family moment on vacation. Thursday, we were driving people.
From the airport.
I connected with Hakeem and they needed some extra drivers just because they were still getting prepped up for everything, and so I ended up driving like Henry Mishlov and Jordan Crowder and Jeffrey Mishlov and Jordan Crowder and 2 or 3 of these scientists and just all these amazing people. Driving this big old van that I've never driven before with Brandy in the front, and they're like, "Hey, are you one of the competitors?" I'm like, "Are you on this?" No, I'm driving it. You know what I mean? But it's cool to help out, and I know they appreciated that. I know. Shout out to David, Big David, man. I got your back. And just it helped out, and it helped us out to just kind of get to make some more connections. So it worked out. Friday was amazing with the speakers. We actually only got to see a few just because we were moving and grooving with podcasts and having to be places. And Saturday was the games. Saturday's games actually split into 2. Friday Axel was on the kids panel. I'll mention that. So Axel did a Mind Sight demonstration in front of about 1,000.
Axel's your son.
Yeah,
my youngest son. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
And so he did a Mind Sight demonstration in front of about 1,000 people, said the kindest words I've ever heard come out of that.
I saw you crying, Ryan.
Made his dad cry.
It was in a good way, for once. But it was an amazing moment, and I think it touched everybody in the entire place. And, Saturday's games, I did well. I just didn't podium, right? Like I didn't flop on anything, which was good. I just didn't have as much of others. The competition itself was much more intense this year. Instead of having a handful of people that are pretty decent, you had a lot of people that were more than sufficient. Is what I'll say. A leap for sure.
Nice.
And so, I still won psychokinesis. I got that unlocked. I'll show you guys that here in just a second, but still did well in all my other games. Shout out to all the other competitors and winners.
And then this year he was kind of asking like where you're traveling. So he's going to England. That was part of winning the Psy Games. You got this free trip to go to this consciousness in the castle in England, Broughton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he's also going to be going to Japan as well.
In just a couple of weeks, going to Japan for the Tokyo Game Show.
Nice.
We're going to be helping to promote the Psy Games Online, which is also the testing platform, but also Hakeem's flow state technology, which he demonstrated a portion of during the Psy Games, having our brain waves behind us so everybody could see what was going on with our brains.
When you were practicing these abilities.
Yeah. And so the other cool thing that's pretty amazing about the flow state is that it actually has games with it that you just touchlessly, you don't touch any controllers. There's nothing even like a Kinect where it's trying to body map you. It's all just your mind, and you're driving things, doing these like different scenarios where you're trying to keep a flame lit and see what the background is. It feels like superhero training is what it feels like. But man, it's just so cool. And that opportunity, I've never been to Japan, so that's an amazing opportunity that I'm very, very happy about. And then
I'm not going to lie, I'm a little jealous that I don't get to go to it, but it's okay. I'll live vicariously through him.
That's right.
It's crazy, man. I can't remember if the last time I talked to you, I had talked about Contact in the Desert or any of that stuff. I did. Okay. Yep. Man, it's basically since May of this year, it has just been nonstop between the intuitive and then the Contact in the Desert, then the Psy Games, now Tokyo, then to England. And man, but
also you wouldn't want it any other way. So
yeah,
we're following the path.
And man, the one thing I'll say too is, before we get into all the fun stuff, is after the Psy Games, one thing that's really cool about me and Justin, Justin from Lights Over Love, we try to keep it very legit. We try to keep it a little bit scientific. It's all hard based, but we also want to keep it grounded. You know what I mean? So I had the opportunity for 3 days after the Psy Games to stay in North Carolina and be professionally tested by scientists from around the world. That's how I.
That's cool. I had a feeling that was going on, but I wasn't quite sure because you were posting something, but not being completely. It's so weird, man. I have to be real careful about what I say about it. I've actually already had to remove some stuff just because it wasn't quite what they were thinking. Anyways, so this is whatever you want to share.
Yeah, no. So this is actually the second time I've been professionally tested by scientists. So I was originally tested in like June or May by Weird Technologies, which is a company that makes technology for consciousness out of England, which is one of the main promoters for the thing I'm going to in England. They actually created with their Weirdoscope, it's a dual random number generator. And if you can get the random number generators to sync numbers, it creates colors and patterns, and it's just a really good way to help you kind of create that portion of it, which is also how I did really well with the random number generator in the Psy Games for the Psychokinesis second game. Long story short, we go into this testing with England. I talked about that one. I talked about that a little bit more. I even asked for like the clips of it because it was online like this. And of course I've never gotten those clips, but I did really, really well. What I will tell you is there was a lot of mind sight for that one. And precognition is primarily what they were testing me on with England. In North Carolina, what I can tell you guys is it was similar. It had different levels. It had about maybe 5 or 6 different levels of each level got a little bit harder as you went through it. It was an amazing group of people, man. We were doing everything. I can't even tell you because it was just as powerful as Psy Games. The electronics in the entire house that we were being tested in were blowing up with all of this amazing group there. We caught everything from ghosts. I had the most expensive meal I've ever had in my life. I mean, it was, it was such an amazing experience, and especially sharing it with these amazing people. But on the formal side of it, I actually got my results back earlier in the week, and it was actually on a call with both Justin and Brandy. So I kind of they all got to hear it along with me. But what I can tell everybody is that I did extremely well.
Nice.
Not surprisingly, honestly.
No, yeah, of course.
But I made it through all of the segments, all 5 of the segments, and on top of that, did very well through all 5 of the segments in the progressing of difficulty. Everybody in that group did well. It seems like maybe myself and maybe another person really stood out though, and so that was really just amazing to hear.
As an affirmation,
just a validation, and that I'm on the right path, man. And it's just like there's so much risk involved in all this stuff that we're doing. Just me personally, and just kind of professionally, and we have gotten some of the haters, and it's just part of it, I guess, at this point, and but I just wanted to say, I not only want to be the guy that can show in these competitions and can show in demonstrations. I want to be, the dude that can also do it in this professional setting. So when people talk smack, I can be like, okay, well, twice now I've been tested by scientists, and I've literally had meetings as follow up, being like, yeah, man, you're pretty unique. We're interested in you. And the last thing I want to say about the side games, and we can kind of move on to some of this fun stuff I want to show off. Is, man, you talked about the Heart Center, and I'm going to try not to cry during this, but man, it was between my son and my friends and the cheering, and man, constant people coming up to both me and Brandy. Even Brandy's got a following now, it seems like, but it's just saying how inspirational we were and how they saw a video, and now it's, they're less afraid to do something, or they saw a video and I inspired them to really, try to practice psychokinesis or practice, mind sight or precognition, and just that inspiration aspect of it, man, has been just life-changing as well.
Well, Ryan, you're making the unseen become seen.
It's
and
man, I have to remind myself of that sometimes.
What's that?
I have to remind myself of that sometimes, because for us and our family, man, it's just like one more day. Ryan's out there doing this amazing precognition. He's got orbs in the sky. It's just one more day, right? And
for me, it's one more day. It's how I live, as you know. But it's people like us that are making the unseen become seen, because it's there. Now, I'm not pointing to it as much as you and Justin and the Carveys are, or the Carvers are, and other people. But this has been part of my world all of my life. Not just the aliens and some of the telekinesis stuff. I don't know that I can do a lot of that, but that's not the point. This has been my world, and it's people like you that are validating it for me, that I'm not crazy, that I never thought I was, but you're reaffirming I'm not crazy, that there are things out there, there are presences out there, and we have these abilities if we're willing to see it, if we're willing to use them. And we all have them, not just certain people. And so I commend you, I thank you for allowing these things to be seen. And I really think this is the year for disclosure, period.
Yes.
No matter what, not just ETs and aliens. This is the year of disclosure. We're seeing everything. We're seeing distortion magnified to its, how bad it has gotten. I mean, so thank you. Thank you for giving voice to what I've been experiencing all of my life, but been afraid until recently to share.
Dude, thank you for giving me the opportunity to say all this crazy stuff on these podcasts and these these platforms, man, because it is still a little bit taboo, but I do think the more that we put it out there, we validate it with science, We have the videos. We show that, it's not, even professional basketball players still miss free throws when they've got all the pressure on them.
Yes.
But to show that, within reason, I'm able to do this on command. It's just part of, like what you were saying. It's just part of all of us that I've just put more time, energy, and effort into honing. Right. Just like the remote.
We are the disclosure.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
No, sorry. We are the disclosure.
Dude, 100%.
Whatever that is, we collectively are the disclosure. We don't need the government to tell us that we have these abilities. We don't need the government to tell us that we already know what is out there. And the more we collectively do this, we are I don't want to use the word bypass, but we are breathing through the system.
Yeah.
And saying, we acknowledge you. We see that you're there. You serve your purpose, but we're good. We're going to do something else, though. And you can be a part of it or not, and it's okay, because even if you're not a part of it, it's still all going to come out, which it is. So
100%, 100%. Man, I want to show you just a couple of things, just because I have a couple of sponsors, and man, I'm going to have Brandy even help me with this first one.
Do it.
One thing that's been really cool that happened right before Games 2026 this year is I actually picked up a sponsorship with a Galley Wheel. So a Galley Wheel is the item that we use for psychokinesis. We've now used it 2 years in a row. I think it's going to be a partner for at least the primary portion of psychokinesis in the side games. So Brandon, I'm going to let you pull this guy out. I'm going to grab the big old thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brandy, while he's doing that, can you explain what is involved in being the partner? What are they sponsoring him? Are they giving him money? What does that all entail?
Yeah, so he is actually doing online trainings to teach people how to use the Ageli wheel. So basically, this is the elite one. There's two different ones, and this one is connected so that it has these lights. And it reads your energy and how much energy you're putting into moving the wheel that's in there. So
I'm having difficulty seeing it because there's a glare, but I don't know that's important.
Let me try to see. So this is the non-electronic one. Let's see here.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Yep.
This is the non-electronic Igly wheel. So what it is it's a super low friction wheel that's on a bearing. There's basically a bearing. You put the propeller portion on it. This is the non-electronic one. I actually use this one for ghost hunting as well. Just gonna be straight honest, the non-electronic. Man, when you seal them under, when you seal them under glass or you put them in these contained environments, they don't move, right? And so I'm gonna try to not get it to bend here. So this is the electronic one.
Yep.
And so what you do is I'm going to bust out this whole big thing here just to show you the legit part, man. Again, you're going to be the first show that this has been on.
I'm honored.
Let's see here. Maybe, is it too floppy? Can you see inside of it?
Can you see inside
my hand
of it?
Waving at you?
Yes.
So what this is a lab environment. It's very similar to what we used in the side games.
Okay.
So in the side games, they actually used a double sealed lab box. So for real, I'm going to see if I can put it up on top here.
Okay.
Brandy, are you able to do this too?
Not as well as Ryan. A little bit, but not as well as him.
Okay.
We're going to see if we can get this. Well, are you able to see the dots and everything through the camera?
Not the dots, no.
Nope.
Let me see if I can do it more. If I can pull that side.
Do you need me to pause the recording or?
No, I think we should be all right. I can.
Okay. Yep.
Well, it's not going to go that way.
I can barely see the wheel. I can barely.
Let me hold the camera.
Yeah.
Here, let me
you go on the other side. Just give us 2 seconds here.
No problem. No problem. You know, there's no editing in this, and this is life.
Life, man.
We don't edit life.
Brandy's got the camera here.
Oh,
okay,
there we go.
Is this a better view now?
Yes, thank you. Yes,
okay.
Beautiful.
So what we're going to do is this is a sealed environment. Once again, in the side games, they use the hard plastic, caulking, sealed, and then taped. This one's a little bit less high tech. This one can be purchased from Amazon. the point being is that you're cutting off all air supply to the environment, right? So anything that happens in here should be either micro PK or PK, psychokinesis, right? And so what I do is I am able to affect electronics. Let's see if I get this thing moving a little bit here.
So Ryan, when you're doing this is one of the serious questions I had for you, but I'm going to ask it now. Are you trying to manipulate the field, or are you inviting the field to breathe with you, if I can use my words?
Yeah, so I'm inviting the field to breathe with me, probably would be in terms of those two things. So basically
so you're not manipulating.
Not really manipulating. This is more like feeling the love. Like, honestly, I'm looking at Brandy's face.
And that's what I want to point out. Because there's so many people that manipulate the field to do this, and they're not doing it from love, and you are. Because if it doesn't happen, we're not disappointed.
Right? And so I bet we can get this one going. We'll see if we can get this.
You already did. It even moved before you even, I saw it move even before you put your hands close to it.
Let's see.
There it is. And so, I know you can make it go faster. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just wanted to show everybody kind of like what this is, what we do with it. It's a pretty cool device, especially when you get it into these like sealed environments. Brandy, if you want to, you can. We'll just bust this down real quick. This will just take 2 seconds here.
No problem.
But what's really cool is, especially for me, man, and I want to say this like when I'm back on the camera here, but man, the experience of doing the psychokinesis in front of everybody this year with my son was just next level. Yeah. I will get Brandy back in here. I'm gonna just grab one thing real quick.
Yeah.
Just to get. There we go. Come on back over, Brandy. So what was crazy, man, is we did the psychokinesis. We did it in that lab box. There's a camera on the lab box from both the front and the top. They had people walking all around. You're sealed in just like I was, where it was actually a heavier duty or rubber for these lab boxes that you put your hands into, and it seals in. Very similar to where it seals around your hands, so there's no air. Got it to go every direction. I had the relatively famous scientist, Mr. Kruth from the Ryan Institute, losing his mind. It was super cool just to have that experience. But what I was wanting to say is, Axel was cheering his mind out.
He kept cheering so loud and then telling me, Mom, okay, you got to take over. I can't do it anymore.
It was so funny.
He's like, come on, Dad. You can do this.
Everybody was losing their mind, in the whole place. But Axel was particularly, and they were thinking it was just as funny listening to him cheer me on, and then cheering him to cheer me on. It was pretty, and that was the second time he kind of stole the show with his just, being him.
Yeah. He was on stage too. A couple times.
Yeah, so he was one of 4 kids that participated in the kids panel this year. So
and how did he do?
Special.
Yeah, just the love, man. That was what to end the side games. I did want to say one last thing. I don't know if I showed these off last time. I have a new versions. I have these sleeker. They're a little bit more well designed now. They're the second generations. They're the 2.0s. So they're a little bit more put together, a little bit sleeker. I am selling them for a little bit more at our events and online, but I just wanted to say, based on what I'm hearing from these scientists, we're going to be moving away from the MindSight with the Mindfold, the thing that everybody's been using. Not that it's bad or that it's not good for MindSight, but what I can tell everybody without getting myself in trouble is that the one of the ways that we had to be tested was this ultra thick. The plastic alone is about like a couple of centimeters thick.
Yes,
and it's a dual layered eye thing where it seals you in and then seals you in again. Plus they black duct taped a triple layered fabric and plastic and fabric bib onto it, right? So when you put this bad boy on, we call it the Batman mask just because the top kind of looks like Batman.
Yeah. Cool.
You're not only sealed from that first ring, but then you get the second ring compressing around it. Plus, then you have the plastic that typically will wrap under, right? And so I think, after hearing a lot of my friends from the Psy Games that, are not part of the Psy community that just were wanting to see what it was, one of the big things that I heard is like, last year we had Lidu and Dahlia do their telepathy demonstration. And Dahlia doing her mind sight was amazing, but that moment with her and her daughter doing the telepathy was one of these moments that it was a miracle, and you can't unsee it, right? There wasn't as many of those moments. There was a lot of heartfelt moments this year with like me and Axel and some of the other competitors. And, there's a lot of heart moments, but there wasn't as many of the like, whoa, what did we just see moments, right? And so.
Yes, and that's what we're bringing attention to more than anything.
Right. Yeah. And so I think what the scientists, once again, I think Psy Games is going to be its own thing. I think I'm going to have to mentally kind of, Psy Games the Psy and the Psy Games were all just kind of one thing for me in 2025 and into 2026. I think 2026 into 2027, we're going to have the Psy category, but we're going to have the Psy Games as its own thing. And then kind of our events / testing as a separate, right? Because I know the scientists are going to be basically moving me into helmets, is what I'll say.
Okay. Very cool.
But man, I have a very strong feeling that if anybody's ever seen Stranger Things, they put 11 in the deprivation helmet, not the deprivation things, but the helmets. I have a feeling that aspect is what's coming along with like walls, zero visuals, zero cues, and just being able to know, right? Yeah. So my goal going into 2027 is to be the dude that can maybe go on the Psy Games stage. Maybe next year we aren't a competitor. Maybe we're like a Mike or an MC kind of person. But maybe in addition to that, we do this demonstration where, we could have a wall, the target's behind a wall, so the crowd can still see the target, but there's no way I can. Maybe there's a wall, and then me in the helmet facing another direction. Kind of like what we did at Contact in the Desert with Sean. Shout out to Sean and Justin, by the way. Dude, Sean, I don't want to say anything I can't, but man, Sean can sing. Sean is from 1,000 Blindfolds documentary. Sean can sing, and man, it was. I'm just gonna say that dude's amazing. That dude blew me away, and I'm a hard dude to get blown away, and so we're going to be moving to these higher end things, not higher end, but just more difficult things like the mask. I actually gave 1,000 Blindfolds, who's now one of our sponsors, both for our events and for me individually. I actually gave them one of my Monstrous Nightmare mind sight masks.
Nice.
And they, I think they also agree that part of the reason that I did so well in this testing was that I've been training with zero visuals, right? Like, like not that you can't, like in Mindsight, you still have zero visuals, you still have the mask on, but when you have these things that are blocking you from getting any sort of sensory, it's more like the remote viewing, which is the thing I didn't make it this year, but it's, it's more that category ballpark of what you're trying to do with your mind.
Well,
compared to like doing live Mindsight where you're trying to see what's around you.
Well, what I would like to point out, if I can, the masks are doing a couple things, but one, they're not just there to show that you're not cheating, but they're there to eliminate the distortion or the distractions as much as possible, so that you can hone in, so that maybe a window or whatever, or your sensory feelings are honed in to whatever it is you're trying to focus on. Am I
100%? 100%. You nailed it, man. And that's that's one of the things I think is just the key, right? It's that focused intention. It's that love base. If I try to do this stuff, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this to make $1,000. Because there was that test, and I even went and I knew I didn't know the woman, but I knew of the woman who was doing the test, And I even told her, I'm like, I just got to be fun. Like, I'm not going to take this seriously. I'm already in the side games. This really should be to one of the crowd people instead of me, but I wanted to show that I would be a part of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I didn't take it so serious. I think I still did all right, but I'm happy I didn't win it because it went to somebody that, had never had an experience and now gets to say, dude, I won $1,000 by doing this psychic ability. You know what I mean? And it's when you can focus in and not have any of these sensory inputs that are interfering as well. That's the key, right? And so, everyone knows I dance to music. I listen to music when I do all my stuff. So if I have my earphones in and I got that mask on, dude, everyone needs to be afraid because I'm in the zone. You know what I mean? I'm able to do it that much higher of an extent.
Yeah.
For the record, I was not able to have anything on me during testing. They actually even check like your pockets, your ears, all that kind of stuff. So it's super legit testing. But man, it's been crazy.
Yeah. Well, now we're going to transition to the serious part of this.
Absolutely.
So all that is fun and is fantastic and is one way in which the heart center is expressed. And going back to the masks for a second, I mentioned it's not only to show that you're not teaching or you're not cheating, but it's also to help you eliminate the interference, the distortion, as I call it. That is what I'm inviting people to do in life.
100%.
We all truly want to come from our heart center, but we're not.
Because there are so many distractions.
There are so many distractions. We are overloaded with stimulation, but we are also, and part of that overloaded stimulation is our beliefs and our judgments of each other and of ourselves. And I'm inviting people to be still enough so that they can see within themselves what they are doing that is adding to the distortion or to the chaos or to the lack of love that is present in our relationships, present within myself, it's not present within our world. And so I'm inviting it on a much broader scale. I'm expanding what you're doing.
100%, man. It's crazy when you said all that and to get into this. Brandy's sitting here, and I've already rambled once on your show about my love stuff, but man,
we're getting to Brandy in a second.
Yeah. Well, for me, man, it's just, it's that unconditional positive regard. It's we are all human doing this for the first time. Nobody's better. Dude, I literally now can say I've sat in rooms with these like multimillionaires and man, at this point, I don't feel like I'm any better or worse. I'm just in a different place.
You've cleaned out your distortion though to be in their presence.
Exactly.
Because there is a certain behavior that one has to have in order to invite certain types of people and presences into our lives. And I want to make that connection into the aliens and the sky watching a little bit. So we'll pause that for a moment. But this is important. If there is something you're wanting in your life, or there are people you're wanting to attract, you have to make different choices in your life, and you have to choose to see differently. You have to expand your awareness and expand your belief system to include everyone.
And that is why we have really, really enjoyed these events that we're doing, because we're building
that is happening there. Yes.
Of like-minded people who want this same goal to, like you call it, to get rid of the distortion. And I'm also, my profession is a teacher. And so I believe so wholeheartedly in this, that it has so much to do with your mental health too, and getting rid of all that extra stuff, that I am bringing this into my classroom and training children to tap into these abilities too, which is really, really cool.
After school club, not part of the regular curriculum. Just want to say that.
Yeah.
Brandy, what has shaped you into the life you're living now?
Say what is what?
What has shaped you in the life that you're living now?
I
So I
think,
asked Justin this, or I asked Ryan this question the the last episode, but I didn't, we're talking to you now because there's a specific reason why the audience is going to find out. You already know, but there's a specific reason why I'm, changing the direction towards you
yeah,
now in this episode.
I don't know what you call it, what anybody calls it. Some people call it an epiphany. Some people call it, in
Okay.
our family, there's a backstory to it, but what we call it is like the shrimp moment, where
Okay.
you see something or you experience something and you're changed and you can't unsee it. So I think that was my start, is having that moment like, whoa, okay,
Do you want to talk about that moment
that's
for a
what
moment?
really happened.
You can just give the big general, because I think don't give specifics in people, but just give the big general, because
Whatever you want to share. Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, the moment was like, I've grown up in a very religious family, and marrying Ryan was just like a total change. I think it was definitely meant to be, right? We've been married for 20 years now, but being with him and experiencing different things that I never experienced growing up has really opened my eyes. And I think probably the biggest one is all the time he would be like, oh yeah, I go out and I see all these orbs, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, cool, dude. Like, I like, whatever you're doing, that's great. And then he was like, no, seriously, I want you to come out here. And when I saw the first one, that was like, whoa, what? Like there really is more. So that was kind of like the big moment for me, along with seeing other manipulations and things from people. And we've always kind of just had that ability, probably because we are both grew up in professions where we wanted to help people. He was a social worker, I'm a teacher. Like we just have that ability to read the energies in the room. And so being able to tap into that and see people's intentions along with the orbs and just all this stuff about the side games, it's just every time I believe and I tap in, it's like one more door opens up for me to really see these potentials and these possibilities. So that's I feel like that's kind of been my experience.
What is Brandy, would you say not sure how the question is just going to kind of evolve this one. Well, they all do, but is there something going on in your life right now that you would say is helping you expand is helping you open more that hasn't happened before in your life?
Yeah, I think it is this community. Honestly, going to the Psy Games 2025, we came back just on cloud nine. I was just blown away. The people that we met, the conversations that we had, the relationships that we formed were just incredible. And like you were saying, that it just kind of gave me that validation of like, I'm not crazy. Like this stuff is real. Other people are like-minded and they want to develop these and they want to have these conversations. And so I'm a very, very social person by nature. And so I think for me, the epicenter is these communities, being able to go to the side games, talk to these different people, having our stargazing events and have these just real, deep conversations, feeling each other's emotions, knowing intuitively what's coming next has really been what powers me and what makes me want to continue to go on this path.
We'll talk about the stargazing events in a moment. Beautifully said, Brandy. Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you think that is? What's happening for you is helping you, in your, as far as your, what's the word I'm looking for?
Progression?
No. With your relationship with Ryan.
Oh.
do you think that what's happening for you is bringing you closer together?
Yeah, absolutely. Because
you have to. There's no way. I'm sorry to interrupt again. Because there's no way that you would even be able to be with Ryan, be present with Ryan in his practicing, preparing for all this, if there wasn't something happening for you.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm not saying this has nothing to do with male and female and that is not where I'm going. I'm going at a deeper level, which I think you know that.
Yeah.
So are you willing and want to talk about that for a moment?
Yeah. I think definitely being more open and exploring these things has completely brought us together. And whether you want to think about it as like telekinesis or whatever, there are so many things that we can communicate with each other.
Telepathy.
Or sorry, not telekinesis.
I call it resonance, but the word I call it resonance, but the word doesn't matter.
Each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely strengthened it because we've been exploring these realms and kind of, like you said, getting that distortion out, and it's allowing us to connect deeper and have those telepathic moments. So yes, absolutely. It has helped us and made our relationship stronger, so much so that like we're not the only ones that see it. When we are out at the store, our kids get so mad because for whatever reason, I think just our energy together, people flock to us. It does not matter where we are. If we're at Starbucks, if we're at the grocery store, like people just want to come up and talk to us, tell us their life story, ask us for help. And I think it's because they can feel that safe energy, and maybe they don't know it, but we know what's going on, So absolutely, it has strengthened our relationship, and it just keeps getting better. So
I want to add something to it just real quick because
you're not allowed to, Ryan. You talk too much.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I just want to say I don't think I would be where I'm at all without the support of my family and friends, specifically Brandy and my youngest son Axel, and even my oldest son Xander. Like Xander holds down the fort when we go do all this stuff. He's a little bit older. He's a senior now. It's it's just crazy, and my father and all of our friends. And I just want to say thank you to Brandy. You have been such an amazing support. Dude, my vows to her, it's crazy. It's the one time my dad's ever come up short. My dad's always been there for everything. I gave him my wedding vows and he was going to have this like thing made of it. And we don't know where they got off to, but I know for sure one of my wedding vows was to Brandy was that I would always be sure to keep things interesting. I'm pretty sure I'm still
and
delivering.
That he has.
I'm still delivering on that, that aspect of our marriage. But to answer your question too, man, I just want to say this too. The connection I feel with Brandy, the connection I feel with my family, my trainer Cheryl, my father, all the people that are the closest in my life, man. I couldn't do any of this without them. And honestly, I think I showed it during the psychokinesis. I mean, that literally was the demonstration of how my heart works. I cried up on stage as Axel was, yelling out and cheering. My Ageli wheel was going much more than everybody else's as I'm crying. I wore not these sunglasses, but I wore sunglasses on stage just so everybody could not see me cry, or at least I'd have a little bit of coolness blocking all that. But, I am heart-centered, man. I live it, eat it, breathe it, and I wouldn't be able to live like that if it wasn't for the people that also live like that around me. So I just wanted to make sure I said that to Brandy, especially after 20 years. What can I say? It's
well,
like 20 minutes underwater. Whatever.
I appreciate both of you, your vulnerability and your willingness to share your heart center with us, because that's what this is what I am doing, and what you're doing, you wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for your heart center. And it's what drew me to you, is because you keep repeating that over and over again, and you did that again with when you after winning the second time. I can't do this if I'm not in the right place. I can't do this unless it's coming from love. I can't do it unless I'm coming from my heart. And whether people connected with that, understood it right away, it's been said. And it's going to make people take a pause. And so I'd like to do a little experiment. if the
Okay.
two of you are open to that. And because
Yeah, totally.
because um, this is another way in which we are communicating from the heart center with this experiment I'd like to do. So, Ryan, if you wouldn't mind, get lost.
I'm gonna
Go
get
somewhere. Go somewhere where you can't hear us.
I'm gonna just go in just inside the door here, bro.
Okay.
And then she'll come, and then you, Brandy, you'll go get him when we're done.
Sounds good. Okay.
So he cannot hear us, and the audience is just going to have to trust us that he cannot hear us.
Well, and you heard the garage door shut. He's inside now.
Yes, yes. So, Brandy, you watched the episode he was on.
Yes.
I can't remember how long it was now, but I think a month or more than a month ago. But anyway, you saw that, and you saw what I was doing with him that had nothing to do with objects.
Yeah.
Are you willing to do something very similar with me, with him?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm open.
Okay. I'm going to let you come up with it. Something that is significant. Well, it could be anything. It doesn't have to just be significant with the two of you. But what I'm wanting for people to see is the connection between the two of you, the unspoken connection. You know where you understand where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want me to think of an object
you can, let's first do it.
Represents us.
Yes. Let's first do an object, and then let's do 2 or 3 things. Okay. Let's first do an object, then let's do something emotional or a feeling.
Okay.
Something emotional or heartfelt.
Okay.
And then that he has to, try to feel.
Okay.
And then the third one can be your choice. Now, how do we want to do this? Do you want, because we're not going to know unless you tell us if it's right or wrong. And I kind of feel like we should know. So yeah, let's discuss the 3 things now before we invite him in. So what do you want the first thing to be?
Okay. I think the object is going to be the Phoenix, because that had such a strong impact in feeling the motions, lighting up the colors at the Psy Games.
Okay.
And what was the second one?
The second was more heartfelt and emotional.
Okay. And I'm
just
a
kind of a feeling or something.
His near-death experience, because man, those were probably the most heightened emotions we've ever had.
So what are you going to be feeling in that moment that are connected with that?
I am just going to be feeling like, devastation, I guess.
Okay. And then,
because even though that's not a really good feeling, I feel like that is something we can really communicate, because that was a crazy experience we both had together. Okay. So I'm going to say just the sadness, devastation.
And so you're going to feel the sadness and the devastation, and then his mind will interpret it as to the near-death experience or to something else. We will see. But for you, you're tying it to the near-death experience, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then the third one, make it something completely random that is no connection to the two of you, but just completely just out there.
That has absolutely no connection?
Yes. Well, it's probably going to a little bit, but yeah, just something that's not as intimate, like the first 2.
I don't know. I'm like trying to think, because everything I'm thinking of has a connection.
Well, I chose the spiral last time.
Okay.
I felt I was sharing with him the feeling of the spiral, and he got it. So it could be something like that.
Okay, so it's not necessarily a place or anything. It's just anything and everything.
Well, I could give you an idea. You want an idea?
Okay.
Some people know that I walk with a cane.
Okay.
So it's leaning over here next to the chair that's next to me. So how about you visualize the cane leaning up against the chair?
Okay. Yep, we can do that
in my room. So that's completely removed from the both of you. So,
okay, sounds good.
All right, let's go ahead and get them.
Okay, let me go grab them.
Yep. So.
Okay. Yep.
I like doing his shows because he always does these interesting things. I like it.
Makes it more fun.
Well, I appreciate that, Ryan, because again, this is what we're pointing out. It's not always about the psi games. It's not always about telekinesis. It's the underneath. It's the energy underneath that we need to be coming from. That's cool. Let's do it. But let's talk about the origin point, right, Brandy?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So Ryan, you know what's going to happen, and I'm going to let turn the show over to Brandy.
Okay.
Okay. So while you were gone, we were talking.
Well, no, you don't talk about it. He's got to close his eyes and feel into it. He may not even have to close his eyes. But hey, sorry, I interrupted.
I wasn't going to tell him what it was. I just said we were having a conversation about some.
I'm assuming I'm going to have to figure out something, right?
Yes, about some different things.
Ryan, if that's difficult, use the other mask.
About those things. I'm going to be thinking about what we had a conversation about, and I want you to be able to tell us what you think it is, what you're feeling. So can I tell him how many?
Ryan, there are going to be 3 things. And I wanted to say, if you wanted to use the other mask, because that one gets a little stuffy, you can.
No problem.
Okay. And it'd probably be better to do the other mask because your voice is kind of muffled.
Hard to hear.
100%, 100%.
Yeah. So, Brandy, are you going to do them in order the way we discussed, or are you going to do them
random? Do them in order.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Just get in here.
We should Brandy, for the audience, we should have reiterated named the 3 things again, but it's okay. People remember.
Okay.
So I'm in the mindfold.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes because I feel like this is just going to help me.
Do it. Yep.
And I am going to try to send you what that first one is.
So I'm just going to talk out loud, and I'm going to just kind of run you through the process. So last year, right before we went to the Psi Games, I was telling Brandy I knew somewhere on the stage during the award ceremony was going to be this like plastic phoenix, right? I even told you that like how many times. It ended up being like the award for the team event, but it was literally the exact same thing that I was picturing in my head. It was literally verbatim. The trophy that I saw in my head was what they gave out to the team event, and I just knew that was going to be substantial. And I had talked earlier about the Phoenix, that it wasn't there. I think it's going to be with Weird Technologies because Weird Technologies is the one that actually built it. But the Phoenix just being this focal point of the Psi Games, I'm going to just call it out now. I have a precognition that one of the awards that the first place winners that are going to Broughton, England to do that consciousness thing, I think we're going to get a Weirdoscope mini version, hopefully with that Phoenix attached to a Weirdoscope. I'm getting that hardcore Phoenix. That Phoenix is all I'm thinking of. I even thought about getting it as a tattoo. I hope it's right because that's what's coming in real hard is that Phoenix. So final answer is the blue and purple Phoenix of the Psi Games.
Brandy, No, you tell him, Brandy.
Give me the next one. Give me the results at the end, just like we would be.
Oh, okay. At the end. Okay.
Okay.
So,
results at the end.
Okay.
So can we tell him what the next one is going to be, or
No.
not tell him what it is, but like that one was an object, right?
Yes. This one I would not say. Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah, because I don't want anything to be. I want. Because if you kind of give a little precursor, then you might be help leading him to the answer, and we don't want that. So yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes again.
Okay.
This was the first thing that comes to me.
Dude,
I love that. I love when he does this stuff because like this is what I like. This is like the kind of stuff I love because it's like I have no idea what I'm getting into and it could be completely wrong. It's just first thing that comes to my mind. So I'm seeing the plus. I'm getting the color red. It's not fun though. So I don't think it's the red plus from the Zener cards because that's what it's physically coming through it as is the red plus from the Zener cards. Are you thinking of the red cross flag from the trophy room? Are you thinking of me dying? Are you? I can like hear your breathing too. You're thinking of when I had my crash or when I died. Yeah. I can hear it in your voice or your breathing. I can feel it. And the red cross flag came through. Joel came through and the sadness. You're thinking of my near death. Don't give me the answer. That's final answer for that one. I can hear it in the breathing. I can just feel it all around. It got more serious. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's what was. So that's final answer for that.
Okay. All right, and then this is the last one.
I'm hoping I'm in the right ballpark. It just kind of 180'd. I'm feeling more happy. The pressure in the room lightened up a little bit, so this is not as serious. Maybe I'm gonna just go with my heart and say this is like more the love and like the feeling aspect of just the joy of all this experience. That we're all just part of this bigger picture. I'm gonna go with this like bigger picture of love and just the happiness that we've had over this last year, this feeling of gratitude. Even if that's not the answer, that's what I'm feeling in my heart, knowing that there's three things, right? You just said there's three things. That's where I'm going with my third answer. Even if that's not the case, that's where I want to go with my third answer.
Okay.
Brandy, do you want to help him narrow in a little bit more? Because he's not wrong, obviously. But there's a little bit more to it than that.
Full lead, but give me like just a little bit more of a narrow.
That it's an object.
And the way you described it is beautiful. Because that's exactly what it is.
The spiral that he has on his wall, just a heart's what just keeps coming through.
Brandy, close your eyes again. See if he can zero in on again. He's not wrong. He's dancing around it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I may have to take a pass on this one. That's because what's coming through still just real hard is like The Phoenix was coming in real hard. The Red Cross flag, that was just coming in real hard. Or the Red Plus. And now
Ryan, I'll say this to you: it's not connected to you.
There's just so many places my mind wants to go. It's okay. Like it's going all over the place.
We won't force it. We won't force it.
It's everything from, like the school and the kids, the influence, the love, to like being there with the foster kids and just the love influence and the foster brothers and sisters, my family, just all the heart just keeps coming through. I keep getting the Phoenix. I keep getting the Red Cross or the Red Plus, and I keep getting the symbol. I keep getting like a storm. I don't know. That's what I got.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Go ahead and take your blindfold.
All right. How do we do on that? That dude. This one got kind of emotional because I don't know if you guys were. I don't know what it was. I don't know what am I getting myself into? What am I getting myself into?
Let her tell you.
What in the heck? That is crazy. You got the Phoenix dead on the head. That was the object I was thinking of. Because he said when we were talking to think of an object that was like special between the two of us that kind of represented and that was like really the awakening was the Phoenix, and weird that you were talking about before. So that was exactly what I was thinking of. That's crazy. And then the second one, he asked me to think of an emotion. And I said, it's going to be devastation or sadness, but I knew that I would be able to get that through to you. And it was your near-death experience. That is crazy.
It came through as like the Red Plus from the Zener cards. I don't know. I'm like,
as the medic flag.
And then I'm just like, okay, well, that's probably not what it is, just because that's just too close to home. Then the Red Cross flag just came, and I'm like, oh, she's upset. And then I could just, the moment that I felt that you were upset, I could like hear it, and everybody's breathing, and then it just was like, oh, we hit that on the nail. I knew that one was going to be good just based on the. I could just feel the environment. I could feel the environment. I got a little bit heavier. What was the last one? The last one's the one that's blowing me up.
The last one, he asked me to think of something that didn't necessarily connect us. And I was like, I don't know. I can't think of anything because everything I think of, there's some sort of connection. So he has his walking cane. So I think you were kind of hitting it like the love that you were saying, like everybody can do this. Everybody's involved. And I don't know. That was kind of a hard one to really narrow down.
But the way you described it, that is exactly because this cane means so much more to me. This cane is not a crutch. And yes, I occasionally need it to assist me in my walking, but it is part of what I'm doing. It is part of my mission. And the way you described it, that's it. The cane is the outward sign of to be an anchor, to help anchor us into this heart center, to keep bringing us back. And so you described it perfectly.
Thank you, man. Dude, telepathy.
Yeah. Ryan, we this episode's kind of getting long, but it's okay. I have at least two more specific questions I really want to ask.
Absolutely.
And we wanted to talk about the sky watching thing. We may just have to glance over that for a moment. We're probably going to have you back. I mean, definitely, especially probably to talk about your near-death experience if you're open to that.
Oh, absolutely.
With what's going on in our world, all the disclosure, all of it, not just in the sky or the beings, but all the unseen. I kind of feel like there are phases that are happening with this. And I just want to know your opinion. And I think we're in phase one, which is there is this group that you're a part of in phase one that is pointing us to the unseen. Phase two, I think, is going to be those that can show us how to breathe with the unseen, because there is a difference.
Yep. The
And
teachers compared to just the showman.
What's that?
The teachers compared to just the showman.
Correct. So I don't want to put any more my 2 cents into that. I want to know what you think about that, but I can really feel that you're resonating with what I just said.
Dude, it 100%. You know, I once again, I'm not claiming to be the dude that knows anything more than anybody. I maybe have a little bit more experience in what the scientific side of it looks like than some, and more of a view into that. What my dude, and it's hard, right? Because I'm going to say this. Me and Brandy have talked about this. So I'm just going to be real careful in choosing my words. I want to be real careful in what I say, man. Not only because I want to be careful in what I say, because I don't want to
speak from your heart, Ryan. Just speak with your heart.
But the other side of it too, dude, is like a lot of what I say comes to fruition, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so I just want to be careful in how I word this, because I don't want to put anything out that I don't want to have happen, right? And so, I think you're absolutely right, man. I think we've got all these tranches or whatever they're called with the government coming out with the UAP saying, hey, you know, these things exist. We don't exactly know what they are. We think there's mechanical. We think there's spiritual or biological. We think we're acknowledging that there is something here happening. We just don't know what it is, right? And not only are we acknowledging it, now we've given you, I think there was a new one that just came out this Friday, you know, where we're giving you these batches of breadcrumbs to kind of ease you into it, right? And then kind of at the same time, you really do have this consciousness explosion. You know what I mean? Everything from, you know, everybody trying to break the matrix is what they're putting on social media now, with putting the pennies to the wall or the forks or, you know, the different items being able to stick when that's not really been a big thing, to, you know, the side games, to having these things more accessible online and more different ways to train these abilities, and just, you know, this kind of revolution of consciousness, people that are realizing how much distortion, as you were saying, how much lies, man, straight up lies there's been across the board, you know, and how much, dude, I always use the metaphor of the cave, and I'll try to keep this as short and sweet as I can. But, you know, the people at the bottom only see the shadows of the people that are right above them. And the people that are above them keep all those people in the cave, and they're the only ones that know what the outside world really looks like, right? And I think, man, between social media and TV and just distraction, we get pulled away from these, you know. I don't think all of it's ESP, like all of it's so much mind or psi. I think people have these abilities. You know, I've watched people heal themselves and heal others, and I don't know if that's so much of their mind being psychic, as opposed to they have this just extraordinary phenomenon of an ability, right? You have folks that are, I forget what the word is, but something savant, like instant savants, where you can like instantly learn a language or learn a piano, or, you know, these instantaneous downloads of information that don't make any sense. You can learn, you know, Russian in like 24 hours when you've never even heard it, right? You know, and is that psi? Maybe. Is it just these extra senses that we are becoming more in tune with? The more that we slow down, we take that moment to be heart-centered. We take the moment to just listen to ourselves, to just be in the moment, breathe, man. It's so funny because I'm such a weird dichotomy, and I openly admit it, right? Like I am this guy that used hyper adrenaline, putting my life in danger, to really find that moment of quietness, right? When you are just, I mean, I always use this analogy. When you're heading up to a 120-foot triple in fourth gear, going 45 miles an hour to make a 120-foot jump, your mind isn't anywhere else on the task in front of you, right? And when you're in that moment in the air, that's like a second to 2 seconds for some people, but that feels like 10 minutes in the air, slow motion. I have a moment to breathe. I can think about doing a trick, and that happens so quickly for everybody else. And so, I openly admit that I got there in a weird way. It wasn't the typical meditation, but I think when people can learn to train their body to just be in that moment, recognize the things around them, recognize just the entire, just being alive, man, just being in the moment.
And having an open mind.
Not thinking you can't. Dude, if you thought you can't make that 120-foot triple, you just put that into the universe, and you're that much more likely to not make that jump compared to the dude that's like, I'm getting on the other side and it's happening. You know what I mean? And it doesn't even cross their mind. I think that's good or bad. That's where I live a lot of the time. Because I do crash sometimes. I don't always get 100%, but at the same token, it's like that just living authentically, just that moment, man. It's
because there's one thing to point us to say, hey, look, but there's a whole other thing to be in relationship with it. And I think that is what's coming. And this group that is showing us to look. And again, it's not just the extraterrestrials. It's not just what's in the sky. It's all of the unseen, because there's a lot to do with the unseen. Even this conversation has to do with the unseen. But if we're not able to breathe with it, if we're not able to recognize that we are in relationship with it, something's going to happen. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to say it, but I think there are several phases that are about to happen, and phase one is people are pointing. Phase two is going to be the invitation. Can we be in relationship with now what we are seeing, what we didn't see before?
Dude, the goal, because I think there's multiple ways we can always go about it, right? There's kind of a more negative downfall side, and there's more of this growth, coming together side of it, right? Mm-hmm. And I think, it's such a weird thing, right? Because this, the Disclosure Day made a big thing about empathy, but empathy in my professional career was what was driven into my head. You know what I mean? And I fully from the bottom of my heart believe it, right? It doesn't matter if you live in a third world country, if you're a different religion, if you have a kid and you were in love with your wife and you have this family dynamic, that feeling that you have for those people is the same way that I feel for my people. The same way that even though there may be people that do, basketball and baseball, and they've never done motocross, they understand the passion that we all feel in these things that we are a part of, religions, all these, even aspects of life that I've not experienced. I can't discount anybody else's experience because that's what it was for them, right? And same thing for me.
That is why I invite people to have an experience. I am not teaching you a method. I'm not teaching you a program. I am inviting you to have your own experience, because you cannot
firsthand experience.
You cannot argue an experience. You can try,
once you see it, you feel it,
can't unsee it.
Undo it.
Exactly. Can you talk now, at the time that we're recording this tonight? You're going to. I don't want to take a lot of time because we could talk about this forever, because we're getting spreading this out. This is going on for a while, and I don't care. But tonight, at the time that we're recording this, you're getting ready to go with other friends of ours. I have not met all of you yet in person, and I know Kari is very excited to have me be a part of what you're all doing. We don't know what that looks like, but when it's my time to come, we'll figure it out. But you're part of a group, and I want to bring awareness to this group, because this group is really special. And
absolutely.
And so this group is saying, hey, there's another way in which we can do this, and this is the way we're going to do it. And it doesn't mean we're doing it right, but this is our way, and you're welcome to be a part of it. But keep in mind, if you're going to be part of our group, this is what we're doing. And please be mindful of that. Go ahead and share what that group is, please.
Absolutely, man. I'm sad because I don't get my shirt till tonight. We actually are having our first annual skywatching event with Colorado Stargazing 369 and Justin from Lights Over Loveland, Dave and Tari from Colorado Stargazing 369, and then myself. We actually have a Reiki. I forget her name. I'm horrible. Danielle. Dude, this is why Brandy's my sidekick. She is so good at that stuff.
I'm good with names and numbers. I don't know why.
But I can tell you every emotion and color and everybody's face. We're a good team.
Yeah.
But we actually have a Reiki healer tonight as well. But it's pretty amazing, man. This is a group of the core people of like the 7 or 8 of us, including my trainer Cheryl. We lead with love, man. We invite this phenomena with love. We train psychic abilities. I don't know what the weather right now. The weather's amazing, so I'm hoping that holds out. If the weather doesn't, we ended up doing about 4 hours of psychic training 2 sessions ago when the weather was kind of bad.
And everybody's had a wonderful time. And like I said, we built that community and had those conversations, and that's what we're all about: is bringing together love, bringing together like-minded people who want to learn these things and experience these things and have validation to share their stories,
have that firsthand experience,
and have those firsthand experiences. And progressively, it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're really thinking that this is going to be our biggest event. And we actually have people that we met and that we talked to at the Psy Games that are traveling in from Texas.
Oh, wow.
To come to our event. So it's really cool. Really pretty amazing.
It's pretty cool. We've got, we have our sponsor now with 1,000 Blindfolds. I think I won't give out too much of the stuff, but I think 1,000 Blindfolds is actually part of DMT Quest too. So shout out to DMT Quest and 1,000 Blindfolds for helping to sponsor our event, and to help sponsor me through this 2026, 2027 year. Shout out to them for, dude, our events went from kind of these kind of grassroots to now, man, we actually had to see what we had to do for permits and parking and getting ourselves real official. And we've got merch, and we're all going to be selling our individual merch as well as the event merch. And, we've had such crazy, I won't go into all of it, but man, we've had these crazy experiences that we've caught on video in addition to having these life-changing moments, creating the psi ability. The phenomenon likes to come hang out. That's what I'll say. I think it feels the love, man. I think I said this to you last time too. I think if Universe was going to give anybody a little extra pizzazz or a group a little extra pizzazz, it's the group that's leading with love, keeping that childish heart, having, kids don't care who they play with on a playground, right? Especially dude,
it's true.
Axel will play with anybody. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl, if you're, what color you are, what your background is, man, you just want to play in a playground, have fun, let's play tag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's that real, just unconditional positive regard, childish, demeanor, and not childish like that we're being,
bringing out your inner child.
That's a better way.
What you're trying to
that's
say.
What I'm trying to say. Yeah. Bringing out your inner child.
Beautiful.
Is the way that I think the phenomenon that connects with us. I think it's the way we connect with each other. Everybody loosens up a little bit when it's a little bit more fun and comical, and you get more of the real, genuine person, right? And we take things seriously, but none of us take each other too seriously. I'm wearing a shirt that's got my name all plastered on it with Sasquatch and some aliens. I mean, I don't take myself too seriously. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that just kind of fun demeanor is what my legacy is, man, because it's all love. And man, I've just been put into so many opportunities to spread that, and Brandy now and my family. And we are what we are. We are, we wear our hearts on our sleeves. And man, I think these events show that. This entire group of people is exactly that. They all lead with love.
Yeah.
Man, when we got our sponsor, I won't go into too much more of this, but just the heart side of it, right?
Yeah.
We've done lots of promotion for our event, but what people don't know is, man, I was in, how do I want to frame this? I was on the trip when we were at Psy Games, when I had got approached, because Justin had been doing a lot of promotion of our events. I've been doing a lot of promotion of our events. While on that trip is when we got, asked to talk with 1,000 Blindfolds and DMT Quest and all that kind of stuff. And man, when they made that offer, the first thing I did was I called Brandy and I called Justin. I'm like, guys, it's coming to fruition. And literally, I think everybody cried. I think Justin called David and Tari. And man, it was just like that moment of like the synchronicities, the heart matches words, matches actions, all linked up. And man, it's just what I want people to know is like, the more you lead with your heart, the more the synchronicities come, and not depriving yourself of these moments either. Like just thinking they're nothing, right? When you pay attention to it and you have these moments, they're real and they can be so impactful and rewarding. And man, I want
and help you see the bigger picture and just live in the moment, you know?
I just want 1,000 blindfolds and all the folks that are helping to support know that, man, you guys have made our event. We are a legit event now. And man, I'm so excited for people to come share with us here tonight. And then again in September. So
yeah, we have, if anybody else watching it is in the Colorado area, and this sounds like something that you want to participate in, our next event after tonight is September 12th. So.
Yeah. I'm not sure where this video is going to air yet. So, but yeah. And I will probably put Dave and Tari's info in the show notes for this as well.
Absolutely.
So, but anyway, this has been an incredible conversation. I thank you both. Also wanted to say I love the tattoos. I'm a big tattoo fan. I don't have tattoos, but I love tattoos, and more people are coming onto my show, onto this show that have tattoos, which I think is cool, because you're a whole other breed. So especially the one, it's a whole art form. So I love it, and I already figured out which tattoo I'm going to get when it's my time. So I'm looking forward to that. Finally figured it out. So I asked the question I'm about to ask you now. I was embarrassed to ask this in a previous episode, but I'm not embarrassed anymore to ask, and I feel like it's an appropriate question to ask you, Ryan, and Brandy, you're welcome to jump in too if you want to. How is this show different from any other podcast that you do? Can I ask that question?
Absolutely, man. The competitor in me loves when you kind of throw these like random, kind of like telepathy moments at me, right? Because for sure you were the only show that's doing that. Everybody wants to see how I train to the games, to the side games, but you're definitely the only one that's kind of doing more of the telepathy and the more connection, the more heart-based love connection. And dude, I love that. So 100%, that's probably number one way. And man, I just didn't get the crutch, but I'm happy I got the other two, because man, anyways, for sure that. But man, it's interesting, right? I can tell from you as a person, you come from a little bit different place too, right? You come from this place of wanting to share it compared to analyze it or I don't think analyze is the right word, but like a lot of the other podcasts will come on, they like to see the demonstrations. They'll then put in their 2 cents. They want to put their 2 cents into the bigger thing. And you don't really do that. You come more from this like standpoint of like love, and just like, you don't even need to prove it, man, because you're already tapped in, and you just kind of go with it, man. You lead the conversations in ways that like just are not like anybody else. I mean, I guess would be the way I'm trying to use my words to explain it, but it's just a whole different thing with you, man. And it's this love base, the moments that you take to be quiet as well, and just to like get into that zone for yourself, dude. The real heart-based conversation. I mean, that's, we have conversations and I answer questions, but man, it's a conversation and it doesn't have a point. We just kind of go with the flow. There's maybe some topics we come to, but just honestly, dude, and just the connection with you, man. I feel like, dude, what's crazy is I've met my soul tribe. And I think, I think for a long time I thought the motto was my soul tribe, and it was, you know what I mean, for that portion of my life. And then I kind of grew out of it, and man, I'm finding that like my deep soul tribe are these people that just fundamentally, dude, who else? Maybe you don't, but I can guarantee you there's not many people that were driving, to go do these races for 8 to 10 hours, listening to like Alan Watts or like these other philosophers give these, everybody else will be listening to music or at least a book. I'm listening to these like philosophical, consciousness lectures. Yeah. So it's always just been this weird dynamic. And when I finally got connected with this group of people, including yourself, that are just more on that level. You know, I don't need to be the extreme dude anymore to kind of get myself out there. And that's, your show in particular has shown me that, you know what I mean? Like, because, you know, doing the Gelly wheel under glass, you know, because it's one thing to do it in that big thing I showed you, which was more like side gaming, but doing it under the glass like I did last time, that is like the hardest thing I do probably.
Yeah.
And like, but just not having to show it, man, just I won't take a bit of time, but it's just, you're just heart-based, 100% heart-based. And you do the telepathy stuff, and I love that. So that's what makes it the most different.
Yeah, we have never done something like that, so that was really cool.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm not asking the question to make myself better or to separate myself, or it's not about that. It's about everything you just said.
100%.
Because I my desire is for that. I want that, and it's like we've said before. This is my world. This is normal for me. So for me to say, I don't have to get on here and argue whether or not this is real or it exists. It does. For me, this is my world. This is my life, and so I appreciate you seeing that and acknowledging that. This is our world. You know, yours is more of the games. Mine is more of seeing it vibrationally in each other and in our relationships. But yeah, this is a reflection of my life. And
dude, you do an amazing job, by the way. Well, they tell you, man, you do an amazing job. You can feel it when we talk to you, and man, what you're saying is exactly, your heart matches your words, matches your actions, man.
Well, thank you again. That's not word.
That's the motto we live by.
Wasn't trying to point that out, but thank you, because I tell people so often, if my behavior does not match my words, then what I say means nothing.
Dude,
and I do not say that from ego. I say that from all my mistakes, because this is not about getting it perfect. It's just about doing it.
Yeah.
Period. And the universe, God, whomever, the field will take care of itself. I don't have to get involved. I just have to show up and breathe. You know, and so the reason you are here is to show another aspect, another way in which breath flows through other vessels. And this is, and I love how, what you're doing is you're saying, I will not do this without love. Because we have seen, the three of us were in the same generation. We have grown up seeing these type of things. But it wasn't coming from love. It was coming from, hey, look at what I can do. And I'm going to manipulate the field in order to do it. And now we're seeing, and you are an example of that is not what we're doing here. Because the field, and part of breathing with it is acknowledging and asking the field, inviting the field to breathe with me. If the field does not want to breathe with me, that spoon is not going to stick against the wall. And it is the field's choice to make that decision, not mine. We're breathing in coherence, to use my words. And I'm acknowledging that you also have, whoever the you is, that presence has a right to breathe, period, in whatever way it breathes. So anyway, that's my little soapbox. But
hey, man, it's been a pleasure. Seriously, man, it's always amazing to talk to you. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna have to connect again, dude. I can't wait to see you at the stargazing events and give you a big old hug, man. Because it's the connections that mean more, man. The older I get, the connections and the people mean more than those trophies. I mean,
yes,
I have a garage full of trophies, man. And don't get me wrong, I love looking at them and the memories they remind me of, and those moments I get to relive those when I see them. But man, moments like this, getting it, you know, I'm positive when we meet, I got to give you a big old hug. Just be prepared for that. You know what I mean? Because it's just, you know, those are the things that I get to take with me, not those trophies.
Yeah. So. Brandy, with where you are right now in life, what are you learning?
Yeah. What am I learning?
Yes.
I think the biggest thing is to weed out the distractions. That has been so hard for me. Like Ryan will tell you, along my journey, I was kind of the type of person that would keep myself so busy So I didn't have to feel those emotions and work through those things. And so slowly along this path, I'm really learning to slow down, live in the moment, work through those things, and really appreciate the relationships, like Ryan said, and just building this community and being a part of this community.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Anything else you all want to share before we close out the episode?
No,
just that we're so grateful, and it was a really wonderful time chatting with you today. So
100%, man. I can't wait to see you in person for sure.
I know it. I know it. We're gonna. I know this episode's been going on, but I don't care. We're still gonna take a moment to just breathe together for a moment, if that is okay with you.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
then I will just close out the episode. So if that's right.
Good.
So let's just take a moment, close our eyes, just take a moment and breathe. We breathe gratitude for this moment. And as we open our eyes, we bring this moment with us into every moment of our lives. Thank you for sharing in the breath. Together, we've remembered a little more of who we are. Until next time, breathe.